Judge, I believe they can put their hands down, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, let's start with the ladies.
Okay, the first one we have Miss Cooper.
Okay. Ms. Cooper, you're charged with 4 drug-related offenses, trafficking, and 3 drug-related offenses and 1 count of possession of a theft by receiving stolen property being a weapon. Bond is going to be denied at this point on these 4 felony charges. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also giving you a bond hearing date of May 14th at 8:30 in the morning. And currently those both are going to be over Zoom. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Why am I getting denied?
Based upon the allegations, the trafficking charges, and the fact that there was a search warrant, tells me that there's more going on as it relates to those drugs being in your home.
Even if I wasn't present during the time I was at work?
So you've been arrested and charged with that. Whether you're guilty of it is not what we're going to deal with today.
No, I'm saying I wasn't arrested. I had got stopped and pulled over and said that I had got a warrant out for my arrest.
Yes, ma'am. So what happened is on January 13th, a police officer went down to the magistrate court and contacted Judge Bando and presented these charges to her and said, based upon the search warrant of your house that you shared with someone whose last name is Green, that based upon the search warrant and the drugs that they found in that house, they charge you with trafficking.
I wasn't trafficking, and I'm going to be due for labor soon.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
I said I wasn't trafficking, and I'm going to be due for labor soon.
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, you're free to go back.
You can go back. Just don't let that door close. Next is Miss Gooch.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. You're charged with 1 count of family violence battery and 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have a total bond set at $8,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond?
No.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Cornelius Reeves. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Don't let the door close. Okay. Next is Miss Gilliard.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Hilliard. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. You're going to have a bond set at $3,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond?
Yes, I can.
You're also going to have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a looks like Venetian heel.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do understand.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I do not, thank you.
You're welcome. You're free to go back.
Next is Ms. Price.
Okay.
Let's go back to your door. Get everybody.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, ma'am. You also have been charged with criminal trespass, damage to property. Your bond also is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Pamela Thrill kill. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I just need to know, I take care of my mother. That's my mother's home. She's terminally ill. She's dying from dementia. And I'm her caretaker, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I can get my sister or someone to come and stay until I don't know what to do on that part.
So what happens is when people are charged with these types of offenses, simple assault, battery, simple battery, criminal trespass, we place a stay away provision on the bond because we don't want whatever happened to lead you to come before me to just flare back up.
I understand.
So if this is a situation where Ms. Threlkill is not afraid of you, she can contact the Solicitor General's office and say that she's not afraid of you and she wants this condition to be lifted. And they'll make their determination as to whether they believe her or not, but that's the manner in how this situation can get resolved.
Yes, sir. I'll have it handled until I can resolve the situation.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. And that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next is Ms. Leach.
Ms. Leach, you understand what you're charged with, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm unable to set bond at this stage on these felony offenses. I did set a bond, $2,000 bond on a misdemeanor. So you're gonna have to go before a Superior Court judge in order to be able to obtain a bond on these charges. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That most likely will be over Zoom, but things may open back up by that time, I don't know. You're also gonna have a bond hearing date set for May 14th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, or do you plan to hire your own lawyer? What are you gonna do?
I was told that he was gonna be in on this.
Who's your lawyer?
My sister got him, so I really haven't met with him yet. I just got here.
Okay.
I think he was trying to get in touch with you. I'm not sure, so I have no idea.
What happens is a Zoom link and it's sent out in the morning. And I have access to the link, but I don't know who is contacting whom trying to get it. So he very well may have been trying to make that effort. But even if he was here, this is something that you wouldn't get a bond because I can't set a bond on these charges. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
I mean, he could have been here and said whatever he said, the outcome would still be the same. Make sure that your lawyer knows about those two court dates that I just gave you, okay?
What was it, May 14th and May 12th?
Yes, the bond hearing is May 14th. The preliminary hearing is May 12th. Okay? All right, you're free to go back, ma'am.
Next is Ms. Mims.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. You've been charged with one count of conspiracy to defraud the state. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And you also have two other misdemeanor charges related to an expired tag or concealing a tag, and the bond is going to be set at $500 each for those. So you're going to have a total bond of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, I can.
Okay. You are going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Next is Ms. Peoples.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Peoples, you've been charged with simple assault. Your bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Possibly, yes.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond. Also, you stay away from Tiffany Nelson. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Will I be able to retrieve my things because I have my purse, my bags, and everything there? It's my cousin's property.
Yes, ma'am. As you're going through the process of bonding out, you need to make arrangements with the sheriff's department to schedule a time when they will send someone to that residence with you, or you're going to be there too, to obtain your things. So they'll give you time to obtain stuff that you have to deal with daily living, but it's not going to be like a move out situation where they're going to be there for 8 hours while you move everything out. Okay.
Okay. Also, if my cousin, well, which I know he will, if he gives the okay, since it's his property, am I able to retrieve those things while he's present? And she's not there?
So that would not be wise, in my opinion, because this stay away provision is ordered by the court. It's not given by him. If he doesn't want this provision to be on your bond, he can contact the solicitor's office and tell them that he's not afraid of you and they have the power and authority to lift it. Okay. So, and the reason I say that would not be wise, because obviously there's some type of disagreement. Okay. So if he were to say, sure, come on over, and you came over and then he said, you know what? I was mad at you from 10 years ago. I'm gonna call the police and tell them you were here. And you're gonna say, hey, he said I can come. And they're gonna say, did the judge tell you to come? You could come. And if you say no, then that's aggravated stalking. Okay. And then your bond would be denied. So make sure you go about it the right way. Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
Yes, there is there's a piece that goes to a cutlery set that I have. And they have obtained it, and I need to retrieve that and actually ask if I could get that back.
When you said they who?
Excuse me, the officer, I think it's Officer Coles.
So it's in police evidence or property?
I think so.
So you would have to go through your lawyer to get that out of property. And I'm assuming if it's evidence, you may not get it until your case is over. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
That would be great, thank you.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, just have a great, safe, and COVID-free day.
You too. You're free to go back, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next is Ms. Bennett.
Good morning, Judge. How you doing?
Doing well, Ms. Smith. You've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jamisha Cobb. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir, that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're free to go back.
That's it for the female, John.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Gardner, I have a fugitive, so you want to do them last?
Yes, let's do the fugitive blast.
Gotcha. Come on. Yeah, just slide down.
Could you turn that off, please? Mr. Ahmad, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of criminal trespass, and one count of criminal trespass damage to property. Bond is going to be denied on the aggravated assault charge at this point. I've set $3,000 bonds each on the criminal trespass charges. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Asia Allen.
Yes, sir.
And I think I also noted that you may have a warrant for your arrest out of Fayette County also. So you should be aware of that if you did not know that. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. You're also going to have a bond hearing date set for May 14th. And I saw on your form that you have a lawyer. Is it Mr. Kamani King?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Make sure you inform Mr. King of those hearing dates that I just gave you. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. So,
Yes, sir.
would I be able to bond out on those charges? Yeah.
You honestly, it depends on what judge is hearing it. I mean, you can get a bond at a bond hearing. Okay.
I'm saying, what about the misdemeanor?
I've already set bonds on those, so you're being held on the aggravated assault charge. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Could you repeat those dates for me?
May 12th for your preliminary hearing, 8:30 in the morning. It most likely will be over a Zoom hearing, but the courts may have opened back up by then. I don't know. Also, May 14th is the Superior Court bond hearing date. Okay. And I don't know exactly what everything happened. Your lawyer may be able to speak to the district attorney's office and they may consent to a bond before those dates come up. But you also have warrants for your arrest in Fayette County. So if you were to, let's say, bond out today, you'd be sent to Fayette County.
Yes, that was what I was trying to do, Your Honor. I was trying to bond out here and handle my case. Yeah.
Well, have your lawyer speak to the district attorney's office and they may work something out.
So I could have a bond before that date.
It's possible, yes, but the district attorney's office would have to consent to it. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're free to go back.
That's not, yeah, yeah, you know,
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce and 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond is going to be set at $1,500 for each count. That means a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and then you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you, sir.
You're free to go back unless you have any questions for me. Are you Mr. Baxley?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baxley, do you know what you're charged with, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I cannot set bond on these offenses at this stage. So I've set a preliminary hearing date for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That most likely will be over Zoom. I've also set a Superior Court bond hearing date for May 14th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Baxley. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir.
All right, thank you.
Deputy, could you come on the screen for a second?
Yes, sir.
I just realized what happened with Mr. Murillo. He's written on my bond sheet as last name Murillo,
Yeah.
but on his warrant is listed last name Alberto. But he's still, because he's posted his bond, we're
Okay.
fine, but I just figured it out.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, sir?
Are you Mr. Bush?
Mr. Benz.
Benz. Mr. Benz, you've been charged with one count of conspiracy to defraud the state, one count of driving with no insurance, and two tag-related charges. Your total bond is going to be set at $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay. The conspiracy to defraud the state is a felony offense. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're self-employed?
Yes.
Approximately how much do you make per month on average? I know it'll change, but just on average.
We'll say about probably about 19, something like that.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Coleman or Mr. Bush?
Mr. Bush, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Bush, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, damage to property, and one count, and the bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that. You're going to also have a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Teresa Watley. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I already have one, Your Honor.
Okay, who's your lawyer?
I didn't kind of remember his name. I was in court yesterday. That's how I ain't in here now.
Okay, well, if you don't have any questions for me, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Coleman?
Child.
Childs. Mr. Childs, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
No, sir. Can I speak on that?
Sure.
I'm working at Zesto's, a restaurant, and I just got paid yesterday. But at the time, my sister was just released from the hospital. She has HIV, and her heart and her liver is failing her, and we're having family time. And this Sunday we having a group church thing at my sister's house, and I was waiting to go to work, and I was at the airport. I didn't know I had criminal trespass. You know what I mean? I was having breakfast. So I want to return to work, and I also want to be there for my sister because, you know, we don't know how long she, you know, gonna be here.
Okay, Mr. Childs, I'm gonna keep your bond at $3,000. It says in the warrant that you've been previously told to not come back to the airport and you've been arrested on this before.
Yeah,
So if you wanted to be out and everything for your sister, all you had to do was not go back to the airport.
I just left the airport and I was arrested for disorderly conduct and sent to Atlanta. So I don't understand. It's not true. I'm just saying I don't understand how they're doing their business.
Okay, Mr. Childs, from the charges, the allegations against you are that you were told not to come back to the airport, that you were given what's called a criminal trespass warning, not to come back to the airport, that you have come back to the airport before and been arrested before. So as far as I can see, you still have this on you. So if you go back to the airport again, you're going to get arrested again. I mean, it's just doesn't make sense.
How do I get that situated? Like, how do I get that dealt with?
So when you go to court, that's where it gets dealt with. Because if you're given a criminal trespass warning not to come back to a place, you cannot go back to that place until you have been lawfully told that you can come back.
All right.
Okay?
3,000, so that's gonna, I can't get nothing, you can't work with the 3,000, my check ain't but like 200.
No, Mr. Childs.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go back. Hold on, bring Mr. Childs back.
Yeah.
Mr. Childs, would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you? Mr. Childs, would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Please.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Childs. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're now free to go back.
What date, May 11th?
Yes, but that'll get waived if you bond out.
Okay, so everybody can get a cup. Morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name, sir?
Clark, Leland.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Mr. Clark, Leland.
Okay. Mr. Clark, you've been charged with public drunkenness, disorderly conduct, and 2 counts of obstruction of an officer. One of them is charged as a felony and one of them is charged as a misdemeanor. You're going to have a total bond that's going to be set at $7,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, thank you, sir. I have Mr. McKee.
Mr. McKeith, okay. You're free to go back, Mr. Clark.
My bond is saying 7,000.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Coleman? Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence. Your bond is going to be set at $4,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond. It looks like the name is Dundrea Brandon. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Did you say yes?
I said no, sir.
Okay. You're going to represent yourself or you're going to hire your own lawyer?
I'm gonna have my own lawyer.
Okay. You're free to go back, Mr. Coleman.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, sir.
Gerald.
Okay, Mr. Gerald, you've been charged with 3 driving-related offenses: driving on a suspended license, license not on person, and improper lane change. You're going to have a total bond set at $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, you do qualify, Mr. Gerald. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
All right, come on.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Hardaway?
You're fine with.
Okay, Mr. Hardaway, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce and 1 count of having an expired tag on your vehicle. You're gonna have a total bond set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Okay, Mr. Morris, you've been charged with 1 count of carrying a weapon concealed without a permit or a license. Your bond is set at $5,000. This is a misdemeanor offense. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Can I ask you a question about that, sir?
Okay. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Morris, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back.
I have a question, sir.
Oh, okay, what's your question?
When I came in yesterday, he told me that, well, I made a phone call. My friend had called on the bonding place, and they said my bond is at 7:30 if I pay cash on card. So and when I tried to bond myself out, I put down 800. But they told me that it is 5,000 if I bond my own self out. But they said if somebody pick my things up, then they take it to the bonding place, and then I can pay 7:30. So I was asking if I can still do that.
Yes. So it sounds like you said the bonding company told you the fee that they're going to charge you is $730. So yeah, you pay that to the bonding company, and then they'll make arrangements with the sheriff's department for you to be released. Okay. Any other questions? All right, you're free to go back. Tell me your name, sir.
Myers.
Okay, Mr. Myers, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 11th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You're going to hire your own lawyer?
I have paperwork stating that my license is not suspended.
Okay. So you're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you don't have any questions, you're free to go back.
Good morning, Harold.
Good morning. Tell me your name, sir.
I'm Antonio Stewart, sir.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, you've been charged with 1 count of giving false name, address, or date of birth, 1 count of possession of methamphetamine, and 2 driving-related offenses, not having a seatbelt on and driving on a suspended license. You're going to have a total bond set at $9,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Stewart. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
I just wanted to check, based back with you on the title, I mean, not the title, but the amount and the dates that you just said.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're just gonna write them down real quick. So you said that the bond is 6,000, I mean, not 6,000, 9,000?
Yes, $2,000 bond on the false name, $5,000 bond on the methamphetamine charge, $500 for the seatbelt, and $1,500 for driving on a suspended license.
And the dates on the court,
May 12th at 8:30 in the morning. But when you bond out, that court date will get waived and you'll get a new one in the mail. And it most likely will be over Zoom if you're still in custody.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Right there.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning. How are you? Are you Mr. Stewart also?
Yes, I am. Kenneth Stewart.
Okay, so you've been charged with a few more charges. Looks like then I'm assuming that was your brother?
Yes, that was.
Okay, so you have given a false name, it's $2,000 bond, the seatbelt law violations, 500, and I can tell you the total if you want me to.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, so the total is going to be $19,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay. You also are going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 12th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? How much do you make per month, Mr. Stewart?
Probably like 3,500.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. You are Mr. Starr? Okay, Mr. Starr, your situation is a little bit different. You still have the same rights that I read to you in the beginning, but you are here on what is basically being called a fugitive from justice, meaning that there is a warrant for you if you're arrested in another state. And it looks like it's Nashville, Tennessee, that they have a warrant for your arrest for robbery. And they have indicated to the sheriff's department here that they plan to extradite you. You have the right to a hearing to determine a few things, whether you are Devin Starr, I'm sorry, and whether there's a valid warrant or the charges are valid in that state. If you elect to have that hearing, it'll take place sometime within the next 30 days. But at that time, that's all the judge really is going to be trying to figure out. They're not going to be determining whether you're guilty or innocent. You also have the right to waive that hearing. And if you waive that hearing, there's a time period up to 60 days that the state of Tennessee has to come and get you. The first time period is generally 30 days. And they can request an additional 30 days if they so desire. If they do not come and get you within that up to 60-day period, at the end of that time period, the sheriff's department here will contact them and see if they are intending to get you or come get you. If they don't come and get you, you will get released from here, but it doesn't mean the warrant has been dismissed. So I tell people all the time, you could get released out of the front door. 10 minutes later, you interact with another police officer and that officer checks and you have a valid warrant, and then you go back to custody. Do you have any questions about what I just told you?
No, everything you said was crystal clear to me. I would like to waive the hearing and just go for the 60-day or the 30-day, up to 60 days, if you don't mind my honor.
Okay, so what'll happen, the deputies will have a form there for you to sign. They'll send that form to me and I'll sign it, and then the clock will start running today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
He just signed one, right?
I'm sorry? Oh,
Good, where do we go now?
Huh?
Where do we stand now?
No, you sit down, cause I know your foot's been out. Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you. Have a good day.